It's AEW's first TNT episode here on
Dynamite!
You know everyone, it's AEW's first
Dynamite!
You know everyone, it's AEW
Dynamite!
Let me get to it! Can't stop, won't stop, can't stop the beat. On this episode of your In-Ring Rundown, I am the NAKA Double G, and I can't help but think you're about to see a lot more of me. Yes, it's quite possibly the best time ever to be a wrestling fan right now, so this week, and just like in all my past relationships, I'm coming at you hard and fast and just before dinner time. Here we are at the beginning of AEW's first live episode on TNT, and with a name like Dynamite, you'd honestly think they'd have a few more explosions in their opening segment. But never mind any of that shit, because we have the new Dream Team, Tony Schiavone and Jim Ross, former bitter rivals from a war 20 years ago that no one can seem to remember. What will our epic first match be? Why, it's Cody versus Sammy, of course. Really? Is their names just that simple? But hold on a second, we now see that the pyro budget was cut short in the intro to make sure that Cody's was at max level. Making his way down to the ring with a bottle of brandy so fine that she reveals that even in real life, the smaller your battle armor, the higher your sex appeal. I mean, stats.
That's great work, no doubt about that.
Yeah, she's absolutely tremendous. You know what I was thinking about? The very first match that was ever on TNT started in 1995. It was on our old show called Nitro.
It's been 20 years, Tony. You're gonna have to let it go. In the ring, Cody meets Sammy Pandana Bear, aka Ruby Rose from Batwoman. Before JR shows us that he's a well-researched master of technology and knows all the rules.
Yes, it is. Jimmy, are you a vlogger?
I don't think I've ever blogged.
I didn't think so either.
I don't know if that's even, can you say that word on television?
Cody lands a devastating springboard RKO, but this is AEW, so that's just a regular heavy grapple move before he attempts a suicide dive to the outside. But that dastardly Batwoman pulls Brandy into the hitbox, causing her to crash into her husband. But this is AEW, not WWE, so getting hit once doesn't cause her to be crippled for the next 2 weeks. Unable to tolerate this play, Cody counters some flippy shit into an inside cradle and picks up the victory, continuing his winning streak. After the match, Tony Schiavone is ready to interview Cody faster than Joe Rogan could ever dream of. But that doesn't last long as the one who doth hold the list of Jericho appears and beats down Cody mercilessly. So much so that we must finally cut to commercial after 24 minutes. 24 minutes? We come back from commercial with Jericho is still beating on Cody for a good while, but that finally ends, so...
Listen, I'm surprised more people didn't come to the ring to try to intervene, but be that as it may, Tony?
Pretty badass.
Schiavone's back with us.
I wonder who's coming out.
Before.
The humanoid equivalent of Rat Trap makes his way to the ring to challenge MJF, a fast-rising young star who I got the chance to interview before this match, but this is unfortunately all he had to say to me.
You live under a rock, or you're poor, and by the looks of it, check.
That little prick Cutler jobs out to MJF in about 3 minutes, tapping out faster than Dave Meltzer taps out to a New Japan Pro Wrestling match. We cut back to the ring where the best movie friends ever, Jay and Silent Bob, are in the crowd, chilling like villains. But unfortunately, their high friendship level attracts the real best friends in all of wrestling, who are not too pleased to see them. But luckily, the private party appear, sort of, and then they all just kind of stand around and then nothing happens. Barack Obama is finally back with us, here to make up for that heel turn 4 years ago when he gave the presidency over to that orange guy. They magically transform into SCU, who are far too giddy to be interviewed by Tony Schiavone at the top of the ramp. But without much warning, though, the Lucha Garage Fiesta appears alongside newly refurbished Sergeant Slaughter, confronting the SCU and claiming that they're the best tag team in the world. This quickly ensues into a brawl where, holy shit, Anna Kasparian is a total beast!
Boy, I could feel that one brewing, and now
the next match of the night is Hangman Page versus the beautiful Bastard Pack, who has entrance music which I'm pretty sure was just ripped from a Super NES Castlevania game and sped up a little bit. Now, Jim Ross may say he is all elite, but his subliminal messages, they say otherwise.
look at this. Impact.
Hangman Page hits a fallaway slam off the top rope while JR tries to explain how impressive of a person he is by claiming that he graduated college in 2 years. Naturally, this proves that he has the greatest power of all, an associate's degree. TNT might still be working on this whole live commercial thing as it takes them about 12 seconds to say something when we get back, but that's just long enough to see Pac land a devastating green arrow onto the back of Hangman Page and make him tap out with a brutalizer in very quick succession. We come at you even harder and faster with the first AEW Women's Championship match here on TNT. Britt Baker joins the commentary table and no one gave a shit right before JR says something that might possibly, maybe, surely, probably, maybe not offend someone, and SJWs himself immediately.
I'll probably get hate mail on that one because I'm making fun of her that she's 98 pounds. No making fun of anybody, folks. It's just data.
It's 98 pounds versus 98 stones, and no one believes that this little lost child has a chance of winning here tonight. Further emphasized by this simple and brutal fucking kick near the beginning of the match. But fake Nia Jax still hasn't realized that Rio's special ability lies in HP and lifesteal, where every successful blow, no matter how small, recovers at least 6% of her total HP. Frustrated and filled with stupidity, Nyla decides to use about 30 chairs in this match and say fuck the belt, even flipping onto them herself because she's such a smart competitor. Rio's berserker skill is unleashed, turning all the life stolen into this match into raw power, landing 2 double stomps and then 2 double knees to secure the victory and become the first AEW Women's Champion. You go, Rio. She holds the tiny-ass belt with an egg on it into the air before I think what literally might be Joe Rogan comes into the ring to interview her. Unfortunately, this is AEW and that's just clearly not allowed as Nyla attacks them both from behind. So brutally that Kenny is summoned for protection, in which Nyla is just not willing to hurt. Did someone say it's a 6-man tag team match? Did someone say it's the motherfucking main event? Oh, I believe I did, because it's being the Elite versus the combination team of Chris Jericho, a Black Magic Woman, and Tito Ortiz. Jericho dares to go for a finisher within the first 3 minutes of this match and pays with a super kick party. Before Dean Ambrose, Jon Moxley vibrates with giddiness so quickly that he warps behind Kenny, delivering knees that interrupt themselves with animation cancel before he decides to bring him back into the crowd. All the while, the match continues with no disqualification because in AEW, apparently the refs don't give a shit as long as there's someone there to pick up the slack. Johnny Moxley finds a backstage chill sesh area and decides that this is the best time to use his secret combination. So he hits down back forward AB and pretty much kills Kenny through a glass table. Back in the ring, Jim Ross reads off the only priority listed on AEW's roadmap for the next 6 months.
We got no time to interact with the audience.
The Young Bucks get put down for hibernation by Jericho and the Judas Effect before a clusterfuck appears. Amongst that gaggle of brightly shining stars is the most lazy-eyed and simplest red giant of all, Jack Swagger, now known as Jake Hager, because the only thing more American than his previous form is literally turning into Final Fight's most patriotic muscle man. Seeing such a lost and confused complexion, JR starts to relive the time his farm was about to get hit by an F5 tornado.
Don't worry about the mules. Just load the damn wagon.
Well, that's it for this episode covering AEW's first live TV event. I want to thank you all for watching. Be sure to leave a comment and a like and share this with all your wrestling buddies as we ride this crazy train of wrestling. I'll try to have an episode covering SmackDown Live's first episode on Friday. Probably put that out about Sunday, and then on Wednesday or Thursday I'll try to have Hell in the Cell covered as well. And of course, a shout out to all my patrons. I really have nothing clever to say, so thanks. Really. Thanks, fuckers. This has been the man from Earth with all the girth. You know what to do. Here we are at the beginning of AEW's first episode here on TVT. TVT. Jesus Christ, I just started. Barack Obama is finally back here. Yes, it's quite possibly the best time to be a wrestling time ever, but without much mourning, the lucha...